Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Top Producers Nation podcast. This, of course, is the podcast that is made to help you become a top producer in your desired market, whatever that might be. If you're a broker or a team leader and you want to develop more top producers in your organization, we also have tools to help you do that. You can see these tools at topproducersnation.com, where you can find our online community, our software, our resources to help you grow your business and maintain your status as a top producer. We're also powered on a local level by the Tampa Bay Real Producers franchise here in beautiful studio on corner of Kennedy and West Shore. And we, of course, produce our monthly magazine here featuring the top 500 producing agents in the Tampa Bay market. One of those is Mr. Randy Oliva, who you can see here was featured in our October 2025 issue. You can also see this online at tampabayrealproducers.com, where you can read up on Randy's story, check out the entire article as well as the other top producers that are in this same issue. We have Randy here in studio today as our guest. We're going to dig into his story a little bit. It's good to have you today, brother. How you doing?
Oh, man, it's an honor.
Yeah,
it's
no
great
doubt.
to be here.
Excited to have you.
Yeah.
Start from a little bit of a background for people who might not know your story at all. I know we were talking off camera how you were born in Cuba, made your way at a young age here to the States. So let's talk a little bit about that journey, what you remember maybe about those earlier times, maybe not much about Cuba since you were pretty young at that point.
Yeah.
But what brought you to Tampa and how eventually did you get interested in real estate?
Born in Cuba, my parents, they wanted a, opportunity. Kind of the American dream. Mm-hmm. They worked hard to get us, to the States, and then we were in Miami for a couple months. Also have some family there, but it just wasn't for them. So they were like, hey, let's go to Tampa, and then from Tampa, just been living here ever since.
So you grew up here pretty much.
Yes.
Okay. And I know we talked a little bit off camera. You got interested in sports, played baseball. It sounds like most of your life. Is that
since I can remember.
Yeah. Okay. High school ball and everything?
Yeah, played over in Gaither High School.
Okay, cool. Did you end up playing in college as well?
I went to FAU, and then I transferred to St. Thomas University over in Miami.
Cool. Was that for like a baseball scholarship?
Yeah, both baseball scholarships.
Very cool. What positions did you play?
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And at FAU, I played middle infield, shortstop, second, and third.
Okay.
And then at St. Thomas, I played third, and I caught.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was baseball like the main focus all these years, thinking that you might end up turning that into a career? Or
it was a dream. It was a dream, and I think the stats are pretty crazy. I think only like 2 point something, people out of high school or college make it. So I know it's tough, but that was my dream, and I worked as hard as I could, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah. I grew up in the Northeast, so I grew up about 45 minutes away from Yankee Stadium. And back in like the late 90s when the Yankees were winning championships, they had El Duque from Cuba, right?
Yeah.
He was a great pitcher.
Oh, yeah.
And always seemed to be bitter in the biggest moments as well and pitched some great games for them over those postseason
Jeter's my favorite player.
Jeter,
so I'm a Yankee fan. So.
Yeah. A lot of people who grew up, I think, around your age idolized his consistency and everything he brought to the table. So I wish they'd go turn around and win another title one of these days, but that's a whole other conversation.
I know, yeah, that's
that we can probably have.
I'll talk about them now.
Yeah, exactly. So, so obviously you were playing ball these years, and did you think that you had an interest in real estate at any time during this time frame, or how did real estate land on the radar?
Not at all, Don. So I finished college, didn't get drafted. I was kind of like going back and forth with my dad. Like I had a chance to play independent ball. Over in kind of the middle of nowhere. So I considered that, but then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna start working. Start working. So I started working with my dad. He's an electrical contractor.
Okay.
Started working with him a little bit, just to give new things a try.
Sure.
I was a school teacher, a PE teacher. I started coaching baseball.
Okay.
Kind of started doing everything, and then during 2020, COVID, obviously everybody got impacted in different ways. With that. And I was kind of just looking everywhere. I didn't have a spot for me where I was teaching in 2020. It had to be like virtual. Yeah. And just everything.
Tricky time for a lot of people.
Just everything was changing. Mm-hmm. So my dad's a real estate investor. So he brought the real estate book to me. He's like, hey, like I'm working on some flips. If I finish them, you list them. It's kind of like, to get like a little push in the door. And then he just put like the I believe the pre-course book on my desk.
Okay.
And he's like, hey,
I
take a
thought
look.
you were going to say Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's kind of like the investor's
I read that later.
pre-course book. Yes.
I did read that later on, but he's like, hey, think about taking the course. If it's something, you want to consider, I'm not pushing you at all.
Yeah.
Just read a couple pages and see.
Yeah.
I think you'll be great at this.
So that was 2021?
No, that was 2020.
Okay.
2020 around, I want to say July.
Okay.
Around July. And he's like, hey, here's the book. And then I, started reading it tomorrow. I'm like, hey, sign me up for the course.
Okay.
And, gave that deposit and just started the course. And then I officially got licensed November 2020.
Okay, cool. So your intention in getting licensed was to try to work with your dad on the investment side. It sounds like
to get like the foot in the door,
Mm-hmm.
because I know the first year is always tough.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I think it's a great way to have a little bit of a segue too, like coming in with a plan.
Exactly.
Unlike I think most new agents who are just kind of getting licensed, thinking that things are going to fall on their plate.
Exactly.
It doesn't usually work that way.
No.
So walk us through that first year after getting licensed. Your dad sounds like was already kind of in the mix of acquiring deals.
Yeah.
I'm assuming these were like distressed houses that he was looking to flip.
Yeah, distressed properties,
Yeah.
Fix and flips.
Yeah.
Before I got my license, he did a little more new construction,
Mm-hmm.
but now he was doing more fix and flips.
Mm-hmm.
So then technically I got my first deal in 2021.
Were you finding any of these for him on the front end, or just kind of listing them on the back end?
It started with the back end until I started my training to find him new deals.
Yeah.
And then, he would give me advice, or, he would introduce me to, other partners that he had, and kind of just started growing the network from there.
No, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Are you still working with your dad on these deals?
He's taking it down a notch a little bit.
Yeah.
He has a couple rentals now. He's always looking, but he hasn't, he's been with the market. He's kind of been slowing down a bit. But
market is different today than it was in 2021, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, but he's still looking.
Okay. So as you've been involved in that world over time, I'm assuming you started developing a network of other investors who were doing the same thing. Is that true?
Yeah. People I met from him.
Yeah.
And also, I think the biggest breakthrough was he had an investment property that he didn't want to fix and renovate, and then I just put that on the market, and from there just got kind of flooded with new investors, and made those new relationships. So
Makes sense.
And I think that was end of 2021.
Okay. So has your business strategy now evolved or changed now that it's 2025 compared to what it was in 2021, 2022? Or are you still mostly focused on investor flips?
Yeah. I would say mostly because I think I've found that niche. Just kind of having sitting down, talking to them, finding out what they want to do, and ultimately having the goal for me to do it myself.
Sure.
For me to build the capital, and for me to venture off and do that myself.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you too. Have you done any of your own yet, or is that
Not yet?
part of the plan?
That's the goal. That's
Okay.
the goal. And I mean, it's already end of this year, but we hopefully to the end this year. But if not, start off 2026 with a couple.
Okay, that makes sense. How many different investors are you say you're working with now?
I want to say probably a good 10, solid 10,
Okay.
that I can trust and I've done business with before.
Yep.
But every day there's I get text messages and emails of people just kind of saying, hey, I saw you closed 123 Main Street. I'm looking for something like that. Do you have anything in your pipeline?
Yep.
And then I say yes or no. Hey, I have this available. I'm working on a couple things, and then we go from there.
Makes sense.
We just kind of build that new relationship. But I would say a good 10 that I can trust and send properties every day to.
All over Tampa Bay, or I know you live in Land O'Lakes. Is that the area you focus on?
My main 5 are Hillsborough, Pinellas, Sarasota, Manatee, and Pasco. I would
Okay.
say those are the 5 main counties. I've done one in Orlando, a couple in Polk as well.
Okay.
I would say those are the main regions.
Okay. Most of the deals that you're dealing with, are they always on market deals from the MLS, or are you working mostly on off market?
No, it's a mix. It's a mix of off market and on market.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are some of the marketing strategies that you have instituted to find the off market deals?
Off market, a lot of checking out expireds,
Yep.
Canceled listings, and I also I'm
Trying
fortunate.
to somehow target distressed property, right?
Yeah. Target distress and see, hey, if it was on market from it being canceled or expired, hey, what didn't work out? Is there something you're looking for specifically? Most of the time it's close date, or just just something quick.
Yep. And at some point, you'll find a homeowner who just wants some quick cash, is willing to sell it for a discount. But to them, it's about, I need to get rid of the problem, right?
Exactly. And now, now it being, 5 years in the business, I've gotten fortunate enough where I get sent properties every day.
Yep.
They're like, hey, take a look at this. Do you have someone? Are you buying yourself? Kind of like that deal. So I don't have to do that much, like looking at it.
Sent properties from sellers?
From sellers, or like they've heard of it. Like, hey, I saw you sold the house down the street.
Yep.
I'm in the same scenario. I'm in the same boat.
Okay.
Kind of deal, or just kind of like referrals from other investors. Like, hey, I know this guy's selling. Or I know these sellers, like they want a quick offer.
Yep.
Kind of deal.
What percentage of your deals do you find now, Randy, are the fix and flip variety versus, say, your end investor might be the buy and hold investor who's just looking to build up a rental portfolio? Or is there a third category that I don't even have mentioned yet? Like, what does that look like in terms of who you're serving?
Yeah, main category is definitely fix and flip.
Still.
And then I would say buy and hold is the second one. And then the third one is I only know a handful of builders. So like either vacant land or, a distressed property that they're going to, tear it down.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I've looked into this recently, even just myself on the builder side. So with those types of deals, are you putting vacant land under contract personally and then flipping that contract to a builder, or is it a different business model?
That's been my model twice. I've done that twice.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I just say, hey, I have this deal. And then, we sign an agreement like, I'm going to represent you. I'm going to, bring
the landowner.
The landowner.
Okay. Yeah. With the intent of selling that land to a builder.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. I got it. Okay. No, that makes sense. And I would think, depending on the market you're in and the certain areas to look at, like there's certain areas that builders are still pretty aggressive at looking at right now and wanting to try to grow in, right?
Yeah. Ever since the hurricanes last year, there's been a lot of, waterfront property.
Yeah.
And that's been probably my most right now.
That makes sense.
Most of them having, tear it down. And then a couple handful that it's been with the FEMA letter, it's been good enough to where they can, renovate it.
Yep. No, that makes a lot of sense for sure. What do you think, from your experience, is the most important thing if somebody wants to focus on the investor side of the business like you have? Is it spending a lot of your energy on the deal acquisition side and the mechanisms involved in finding good deals? If you're working on the back end with an investor, there's also the element of building that network, right? And getting connected with the right investors and the ones that you can trust that are going to actually close and do what they say they're going to do.
Yep.
Both could be time consuming, right, to figure out. And there's different systems I know needed to really accelerate both. There's a lot of different ways to do this. But have you found any sort of a pathway that you'd recommend there that you think is most important for someone to focus on, even if they're newer in the business?
I would say just really focusing on the numbers, having the numbers like accurate. Because, when you get,
which is what investors mostly care about more than anything, right?
When you get a deal sent, you want, you don't want it to second guess you. Like, hey, is the after repair value, like, I don't agree with this.
Yeah.
You want them to be the opposite. Like, as soon as they send a deal, they see the margins and they're like, hey, where do I deposit? Like, which title company?
Yeah.
And then they get ready to send a deposit. So
Right.
that's where I really, like, I would say focus on the most. Like, just making sure it makes sense. Not like any second guesses or, hey, your comps are way off. Like, I don't agree with this, or, hey, I don't see any comps. I don't see what you're seeing.
And that's how you justify your ARV, right? Is just having
correct.
3 to 5 comps at least.
Yeah, 3 to 5. 3 to 5. The more the better, because then it's like, they can maybe you can work them up a little bit more.
Sure.
But that's what I would say, you guys should focus on the most.
Yep.
When, finding a deal is like, if it's a good deal, and then obviously the motivation. Some sellers, they want a number, and that's like their number till they die.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And it just,
At least for an investor.
At least for an investor.
It might make sense for
it might make sense for someone else.
And buyer who just wants to live there and
Exactly.
maybe get a little bit of fixer-upper
Yeah.
type situation, but that's a different niche entirely.
Exactly. That's that's completely different. But like, just focusing on investor wise, when they have that number and they see it, they have to be realistic. And most of the time, I would also add to that a following up. A seller could be at 300 today.
Yeah.
And, they kind of just get a little more realistic in a month.
Time has a tendency to do that.
In a month, and they're like, okay, fine, I'll take your 250 offer,
Right.
kind of deal.
Right.
So, I would say those are like the two biggest things.
And so have you found that your investors all have different formulas and ways that they try to analyze these deals so that the numbers, as you talked about, work for them? Or is it all pretty consistent with what numbers, like what formulas they use?
No, I would say it varies.
Yeah.
Because I know some investors, they're also contractors. So they get their rehab is way
cheaper.
Their rehab could be $50K.
Yeah.
And then, someone else is 80.
Right.
So then they got someone that's kind of a little bit new or doesn't have the connections.
Yeah.
To like the construction side, it might be 80K, but this guy's a contractor. He could do it for 50,
right?
Or even some cases a little like a handyman.
Yeah.
Hey, do it for 30.
A bunch of subs in their network.
Yeah, do it for 30. Hey, just want to get on the market in a month,
right?
In a month and a half, get it back on the market, ASAP,
right?
So it definitely varies, but I would say probably out of like those 10 solid buyers, probably like 6 or 7, like kind of like they're pretty similar.
Yep.
And then there's 3 like that kind of just depending on what they're looking at, they might overpay a little bit just because of an area.
Yep.
Or they might, be a little more conservative now because the market's changed.
So I feel like from everything I've been taught and learned over the years in this world on the investment side, the kind of standard formula that's preached a lot is the 70% of ARV minus repair costs, right? As kind of your maximum allowable offer, MAO they call it, right?
Yeah, correct.
So that's kind of I would say a standard formula, which sometimes makes a lot of sense, sometimes works, a lot of times doesn't. Yeah. But outside of that basic formula, are there other important factors that you feel like need to be looked at to really dig a little deeper in whether something is a good deal or not?
I mean, that is the main one for sure. Mm-hmm. And as I mentioned, just your resources. Like, hey, can you get all this work done, for 30, 40 grand? Mm-hmm. Or are some hiccups going to come up? You had your inspection period and something with the foundation came up. Yep. That's an extra, 10, 15 grand that you didn't expect to, put in the property. So I feel like you just always got to be ready. Have a little buffer, kind of have a little more margin. Mm-hmm. And especially with the market now and every buyer, pretty much every deal the last year and a half, there been concessions. Mm-hmm. With the houses that have been flipped and gone back on the market, there's been seller concessions and kind of having to adjust and be a little more conservative to know, hey, we're gonna sell it at 400, but we got to give the sellers, we got to cover their closing costs,
right?
So it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that scenario. So they're just being a little more conservative nowadays.
Is there anything? Do you find yourself working with investors who are kind of flipping with a pretty standard template, and it's nothing necessarily with extravagant interior design type work or anything that's kind of unique or special on the actual remodel itself? It's more of like you said, just get it back on the market, keep everything, pretty standard colors, standard materials, standard whatever, just to get it back out. Or depending on, say, the neighborhood it's in or the area geographically, is that going to vary based on what's needed to make sure that sells properly?
No, definitely depending on the area. Like I mentioned, the waterfront properties in Treasure Island, Madeira Beach, St. Pete Beach, they gotta go high end there. Yeah, like if you put lower end stuff there, you're just hurting.
It's not going to turn.
You're just hurting yourself.
Yeah.
So they know the area and they got to put higher end stuff, and then obviously there's the couple that.
Hey guys, just a quick second here. If you're an agent who knows that you want to be featured as a top producer here on the podcast and would love some support in helping you grow your business so that you can be a top producer in your desired market, you can see what resources and programs we have in store to help you at topproducersnation.com. That is where you'll be invited to register for a webinar and where you can get access to the different programs and courses and different opportunities that we have in store for you at topproducersnation.com. You can also join our online community by going to join.topproducersnation.com to be able to join our online community and learn more about being a top producer. If you are a broker or a team leader who would like help in producing more top producers on your team, we invite you to do the same thing. Our programs are made specifically to help you as well grow your teams. Let's get back to this episode.
And they just want it, some lower end stuff, but they just want it back on the market, make a quick profit and, go from there.
Yeah.
So it definitely depends on the area.
I have some friends that have been very successful in this space and have built their careers off of working either as flippers themselves or even as agents like yourself who's worked with flippers. And I know two other factors that I think they seem to preach about is the understanding of days on market, right? And and why that is so needed to make sure that you have a better expectation on when you're going to see the return, right, on the back end.
Correct.
And that, of course, can vary pretty wildly based on even like neighborhoods that you're in, or like you said, the luxury side is generally going to be a higher days on market, depending on normal situations, than more of like your standard medium home price, right? And that's the other factor that they always preach about is, yes, there's the standard 70% formula, but what's the days on market information and what's the medium home price information, right? So if the median home price is $500K, if you're dealing in a $1.5 million area, you better have a certain expectation that most likely is going to sit a little bit longer because you're looking for a pretty specific type of buyer, right? That's not the general public in that scenario. Is that all seem pretty fair to say from your experience?
No, 100%. Yeah. 100% days on market, because especially, if you have a hard money loan, the longer
clock is ticking.
And you get stressed. You get stressed because it's not selling, and you're like, what am I going to do?
Totally.
So days on market, and then obviously,
what does your marketing strategy look like as the agent once it is completed? That's kind of where your job kicks in, right?
Yeah, correct.
You're the one who's kind of emphasized to like market it properly.
Yeah. So
obviously there's the MLS postings, but is there anything else that you feel like is unique or that you do to try to make sure that it sells quickly?
Especially if they're vacant. I'm a big fan of staging.
Yeah.
Staging, and obviously, professional pictures, and kind of just I think Zillow has like a, virtual tour.
Yep.
And just kind of just everything that kind of just helps them kind of feel like, it's like homey.
Yeah. No doubt.
Especially that most of
chocolate chip cookies baked in a oven during an open house, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, man. Those open houses like that people want to go to.
Right.
But yeah, I would say since majority of them are vacant, or they have a tenant, kind of just staging it and making things like look as best as possible.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. You mentioned off camera that you also do work sometimes with your traditional retail buyers and sellers, right? I think, was it like 90-10 right now?
Yeah, 90-10.
Is your split? Is that pretty fair?
Yeah.
So has that just been organic? Like whoever you kind of come across, whether it's from church or somewhere else who wants to buy or sell a home, has that been kind of where that's come from?
That's been more organic. Like family referrals, friends.
Yeah.
And just someone I can connect with, and every now and then like a seller, hey, thank you for selling my home. I have a friend or a family member or someone in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
That that is also looking to sell, and reviews, reviews, and hey, I highly recommend them, and then go from there.
Yep. What your experience since you got licensed, has it matched what your expectations were when you became a licensed agent? Or has it been better? Has it been worse?
Not at all, Don. It's God's been amazing.
Yeah.
It's like I always I talk to my wife every day about this, like just kind of the growth, since 2020, 2021. I think it's almost been double.
Nice.
I think my first year I was 6, sold 6 in 2021, and then year 2, 12. And then ever since then, it's continued to escalate. And I think 2022 is 24.
Yep. And last year we looked at it and it was over 30. It looks like close to 40 transactions last year, over 15 million in volume. So I mean, that's a solid year right there.
So
every
year,
top 500 in the market.
Yeah. So every year, kind of just getting an opportunity and just really like working hard to like take advantage of it and not letting it slip away.
Do you find yourself having a preference to work with investors or your normal retail buyers and sellers? It's a very different experience, right, on both sides. Do you prefer one or the other?
I don't prefer. I'll help anybody.
Yeah.
I'll help anybody, but it does come easier to me, the investor side.
Yeah. Just because of the
side is easy. Because of the numbers. I've done more investor work. Right. So not saying the retail is like I don't feel confident in, but I've definitely done more investor stuff, more investor related transactions. So I just feel like, kind of just, I write up contracts a little bit quicker with them, and kind of just growing with them.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you do anything to intentionally develop that network of investors? Are you part of any like real estate association, like TBB RIA or any of those types of groups that kind of promote bringing investors together?
Yeah, I'm in I want to say like 6 or 7 groups on Facebook.
Okay.
And I think every day it's like it gets flooded with properties and what you have available,
Yeah.
kind of what they're looking for. So I would say those Facebook groups help out a lot.
Yeah.
And then kind of just like I mentioned earlier, like referrals. Like, hey, you helped my buddy buy a house, or an investment property. My brother's looking. He's looking to get his first flip. Start sending him. Here's his number. Start sending him deals. Yeah. Kind of like that, and just I feel like if you do great work with the one investor, it can kind of be like a domino effect. And kind of, hey, I know somebody, and then you do good work with them. They know somebody else, and it just kind of keeps going from there.
Referrals is the best part of any business, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's free advertising, free marketing, and a lot of times it's how many businesses get the initial traction needed to get some movement, right? Get some momentum going and start to generate revenue.
Oh, yeah.
Then once you start serving investors, as you have over these years now, you can even build like almost a presentation or some sort of a tool that shows the different success case studies that you've put together and the types of returns that these investors have gotten off of properties that you've dealt with. I don't know if you've done that yet, but that would be a piece that could help you attract other investors, whether it's on Facebook groups or in-person groups or events that you get an opportunity to go to. I think having a piece like that, we have what we call the 4 principles of top producers is something we teach in our community. Yeah. And one of the second principles is creating what we call value leading offers, some sort of a tangible report or a product that you can use so that whoever your target market is, in your case, that would be investors in this example, right? Can raise their hand and say, oh, this is interesting. I want to talk to you about it. I want to work more with you. And it's a free thing that adds value, right, to their community. Is that something you kind of naturally adopted at all yet into your business, or have you worked in those areas at all?
Yeah, I would say like a platform like that I can use. Mm-hmm. Like they reach out and they say, hey, like as I mentioned earlier, you sold this property. I'm looking for something just like this. Yeah. And then I kind of just run them through, hey, this is how I can help you. This is what kind of the service and kind of like the agreement we can go to, how much you're looking for, like how much you want to buy. Is it cash? Is it hard money? And just kind of like take them through the steps of everything, and then kind of see, hey, like I think they're going to be one of my like top people. Yep. Or, they might just buy 1 or 2 a year, but still obviously keep them in the pipeline.
One of the things you might want to consider, Randy, if you haven't already done this, is to create a simple video with like some examples of investor deals that you have successfully done, showing like pictures of the houses and then some examples of ROI. You don't even have to use the names of the investors just to keep it private, but just having that as a case study as proof, right? People love that social proof concept. And if you had that as a video that you can then plug into a simple, what we call a funnel, right? Like a little landing page, basically, which isn't very complicated. That's a great tool that you can then send to people who have an interest in talking to you, rather than you having to manually explain that all the time, just using that as your tool.
No, that's in the works. It's funny you mention it. My wife brings that up a lot. Yeah. She's like, hey, do it before and after, do a little more social media.
Your wife's a smart woman.
Oh yeah. No, she's amazing. No, but kind of just like she always tells me, hey, post a little more, do a little more videos on social media. Yeah. And kind of just, honestly, just giving her my social media, I think at this point would be the best case. Just her mindset. She's so smart.
Yeah. Is she in the business with you?
No, but she's like, she has like.
Sounds like she could be.
She could be. Yeah. No, we've talked about it. We've talked about it several times.
Does she work elsewhere right now?
Right now she's a ultrasound.
Oh, cool.
So that's, she loves that. But it's definitely something we've talked about. Hey, like every now and then in breakfast, hey, I should get my license. I'm like, do it. Yeah. Let's be a team.
You guys be the Olivia Power team.
Oh yeah. There you go. Let's be a power team. So we bring that up a lot. Yeah. So it's maybe it's something in the future for sure.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And it's something that I bring it up because I know we've been crafting these different things for specific agents. And so as I'm talking to you, that's how my mind is thinking of ways that you can even streamline your lead flow and have that work. But, so for people who didn't get a chance yet to check out your story, don't know much yet, we've already talked a little bit about your wife. Let's talk about some of the personal side. Yeah. So you are married, obviously. Do you have kids yet?
One kid.
One?
Yeah.
How old?
6 months.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
Thank
you
you.
are in the fatherhood club now, huh?
Thank you so much. Thank
Boy
you so
or girl?
much. A boy.
Little boy. That's awesome. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
So Rob has 2. You don't have 2 yet? I thought your wife. No, I'm just. Rob has 1. I have 6 at home, so we're just crazy.
Yeah.
My oldest is 11, and our youngest is about 8 months. So
I have one that will be 2.
there you go. There you go. One that's about to be 2 here any day now. Yes. So anything that you guys love to do for fun? What keeps you guys busy as far as hobbies, interests, and when you're not just flipping real estate?
We love traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love traveling. We've been to a handful of places. That was something we actually agreed when we got married. We wanted to travel a little bit, before our son came into the world, and I think we got a good
It's
good
a game
amount
changer, isn't it?
yeah, good amount of travel in, and we're still looking, to travel more.
Where do you like? Is there a favorite vacation spot or anywhere you like to go?
Our favorite so far has been Italy.
Yeah,
It's just
beautiful.
like, Don, it's beautiful, man.
It is.
Like everything. Like
It is.
just everything about it.
Yep.
We want to go back because there's so many places in Italy
I know.
that we can go to. And
When's the last time you went?
last time we went was for our anniversary, which was
Put you on the spot for your anniversary date, huh?
no. I'm thinking the year.
Gotcha.
23.
Okay.
23. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been in years. I went in like 15, I think it was now, so 10 years ago.
Okay.
And I wasn't even married yet at the time, and I wasn't even dating my wife yet. We had just I'm sorry, we were dating. What am I talking about? It was actually well before that, not 15. I went in 2005, so 20 years ago.
Okay.
And at that point, I was not dating my wife at all. But she's actually half Italian, so that's something that's on her list of wanting
nice.
to go check out, and it's been on our list for a while. Yeah. The more do it when you don't have. I don't know if you're going to plan on having a lot more, but as you keep having more, it makes it a little bit more difficult to travel like to Europe and some of these other places until they get older. But it is a gorgeous country. I love it.
We want a little break. We want a couple more, but we want a little break in between.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what most smart people do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unlike, we're not really the smartest, but it is what it is. We just take the God's blessings as they come.
No, seriously.
And I know you're big with your faith and your church. So we were talking off camera about Radiant. You guys have been members there for a while now?
Yeah. So I met my wife in 2020.
At church?
No, we met through social media, through Instagram.
Okay.
But she was already attending Radiant.
Okay.
And she was like, "Hey, come check it out." And from day one, I knew it was my new church home, and it's been my church home since 2020.
And I think you said, are you involved there in some way? Is it teaching there?
We're in a marriage group with some of our best friends now.
Okay.
That we met in 2020.
Yeah.
And then I also serve on the parking team. Kind of like before the service, you can help out people once they get out the vehicle.
It's a great testimony just to meet people.
Yeah, to meet people and kind of have conversation.
ministry.
Hey, like, is this your first time? How long have you been coming to Radiant? And then we just have a conversation and just drop them off in golf carts to in the front of the auditorium.
Yep. Then they still meet at the theater down there, right?
Yeah, they're still there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the one that I went to, and a buddy of mine invited me. We attend to Hillsdale up off of Ehrlich, if you're familiar with that church.
Okay.
Right off of exit, what is that? Exit 9, Ehrlich Road, on the Veterans. We've been going there since 2012, but they haven't. They don't have the 17 or 11 different locations. I think that Radiant's up to
it's
now.
11. Yeah.
It's wild. They've grown all over Tampa Bay at this point, haven't they?
Yeah. No, the growth has been. Our pastor always brings it up. It's a miracle.
Each one of the locations have its own pastor? Is that how it's set up?
So there's like a location pastor.
Yeah.
Like each location has a location pastor.
Yeah.
But the main campus is South Tampa, where he's live.
Right.
And then all the other campuses do live stream.
They do. Okay. Yeah. That's what I was curious about. So on Sunday, they're actually all watching his message.
Yeah, correct.
From whatever satellite location they're in. Okay. Gotcha. Cool, man. Well, a couple quick rapid fire questions for you. You ready?
Got it.
So, do you have a favorite book, author, seminar that you feel like has made an impact on you personally or professionally?
So our pastor has a book. I forgot what it's called, but
Which one? Because that book has many.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. Book.
but I know he wrote a book about the
What's his last name again?
Aaron Burke.
Burke.
Yeah.
B-U-R-K?
B-U-R-K.
Okay.
No, B-U-R-K-E.
K-E.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyone could Google his name and probably come across the name of that book. But
yeah,
yes.
I don't know the topic. Like what's it called?
title.
But it was he wrote the book about the life of David.
Okay.
Is it the unfair advantage?
Yes.
There you go.
The unfair advantage. Sorry, Pastor.
There it is.
Um,
We found it, Aaron. We found it. No sweat.
but yeah, that book was amazing. Just how he kind of went through the life of David and
Cool.
just, I mean, just how crazy
I
it
love
was.
studying some of the great Bible stories and characters,
Yeah.
but David's one of those. There's just
Oh, yeah.
so much meat in his story.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
That there's a lot to learn. A lot.
That's
to
why
take from it.
that's why he wrote a book about it. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's just so much to talk about.
There really is.
And then obviously, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I feel like just
Makes a lot of
with
sense
the business
as
just
an
got me.
investor side.
Yeah, it just got me like, just kind of opened my eyes to just a lot.
Yeah.
And knowing, just being wise with our finances that we're gifted.
What the difference is between a real asset and a liability.
Exactly. Yeah.
It opens up a lot of people's eyes, I
yeah.
think. So those are good recommendations. I haven't read the book yet about David, so that might be something I'll have to add to my list as well.
For sure, I recommend it.
What's it called again?
The unfair advantage.
Yeah.
Cool. Unfair advantage.
No, you're good.
Do you have a favorite movie or TV show there, Randy?
Me and my wife really love Harry Potter.
Do you?
Yeah.
You've been to the Universal Studios land?
Oh yeah. we went to they did a great job over at Epic, the new park.
Uh-huh.
Like just kind of like just the Harry Potter ride they did.
Yep.
It's just like
Yeah, I brought the boys there before.
just it's so detailed. Like just it's truly like crazy what Disney and Universal what they do. It's
Yeah, I know. I was out in California this summer, May actually, with just the two boys because we were out for a baseball trip, and we went to a Dodgers-Yankees game. We went to an Angels game, Angels-Yankees game, and we actually went to San Diego and saw a Padres game. Just
nice.
We're trying to do a thing where we go to like a couple of new baseball stadiums every summer, and so those were three that we got knocked off the list.
Yeah.
But we had an extra day in California, so we went to Universal for a day, and they had the Harry Potter land out there, and yeah, my boys loved there was one particular roller coaster that they wanted to do like over and over and over again. I forget the name of it now, but we did.
Is it very different from the Florida one?
Well, there's the yes, it was different.
Okay.
There's an inside roller coaster which I think is the same in both areas. This one happened to be an outside coaster that they had next to that, and they loved it. It was one of their favorite things to do there. So
Nice.
yeah, no doubt. But you're right. The attention to detail, it's very Disney-like in how they scaled it out and build out the attention to detail element for sure. All right, so we're going to have to put a bow here on our episode as we wrap up and make sure we don't take up too much of your time as you have, I'm sure, investors to meet and deals to close. But I always like to ask as we come to a close, like the concept of, this is intriguing to me as a young professional like yourself. Hopefully you have many years to build your business and your family and serve God in the ways that you're called to serve. But what do you think, Randy, would be most important to you when that time does come and you're sitting on the rocking chair and you're thinking about your legacy and what you'd want to be most remembered for? What are some thoughts that come to mind that would be most important to you?
Yeah, most important is that I live a life that I glorify God with everything I do. Like, honoring him with, my thoughts, my actions, like my giving. To me, that's the most important because I feel like that's your relationship with God is your number one.
Amen.
And we get caught up most times, like, with our busy schedules and kind of just life, and the things we're going through. But we forget, to really put him first and know that we're here because of him.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I would say that's my main thing. Just like, hey, that guy, he glorified God. He did everything for him that he could. He honored him. He gave him all the praise, all the glory. How many ever years, I'm alive for, but most importantly, eternal life. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, nothing could be more important, right?
Yeah.
We all know that our days are numbered here on this earth, but
it's temporary.
There's something bigger than that that's waiting for us on the other side. So I could relate to that and agree with that. Appreciate you being here, man. This was fun. Is there anything that if someone wanted to pick your brain, and whether it's about the investment side or anything else that we might have brought up, what's the best way for someone to contact you?
Yeah, so social media, Randy Oliva, RandyOliva is my Instagram and my Facebook. And then phone number, I'm completely fine with that, 446-6237. And then from there, we can connect. Any questions you guys have, I'm more than happy to, sit down a couple minutes, grab some coffee, or, do something where you can ask me anything about real estate.
Very cool. Well, don't be a stranger. Now that you've been featured by us, you're going to get invited to a lot of our events moving forward. I know I already mentioned we have our big holiday party in December. We'd love to have you and your wife attend if you can make it.
Oh, yeah.
We have a fun one coming up in November as well. It's an Olympics event. I don't know if you've seen any promo for that. We've sent it out before, but it's called our Tampa Bay Real Producer Olympics. It's on November 6th, and we're going to do 8 different games with all these kind of fun competitions. As an athlete, I think that might be a fun thing.
Okay.
You can participate on a team or create your own team if you have people that you want to play with.
Yeah.
So I'll send you the link, and you can check it out if you guys want to participate.
Of course.
We'd love to have you be a part of it if you're around. It's going to be at a park right down here, Cypress Point. It's called.
Got it.
Which is right by the airport, basically. But we'll put a bow on this episode with a call to the audience to take action on at least one thing that you heard us talk about today on the show. We're big believers that if you take the time to listen to this episode, whether you're on any of the 15 plus podcast platforms that we distribute to, or you're watching live on YouTube, or in any of our other channels, what is one thing that you can do based on this conversation that can help propel you forward personally and professionally? Maybe you're somebody who's not yet working with investors the way Randy is, and that intrigues you, and you'd like a little bit more of a network like that. Maybe there's a group that you need to join, a Facebook group that you can join, maybe just having a cup of coffee with Randy to pick his brain a little bit more, looking into what that whole world could open up for you, whether that's building your own portfolio or wanting to obviously work as an agent in building that network of investors that you can serve. Maybe you just have to pick up Rich Dad Poor Dad, right, as an action step and read that book, or join a local church that you can get involved like Randy has with Radiant and have that element of your life, that fulfillment that comes from the eternal life that Randy mentioned. Which ultimately is where we're all headed, right? So what is it that you can do? What's one thing that you can do to take an action step and move forward? Maybe you just have to subscribe to this podcast. Click the little button below. And if you haven't yet subscribed, you'll be notified every time we drop a new episode, which is weekly with our different guests here in studio. And again, that's at Top Producers Nation at YouTube, or on any other socials. We're all over Instagram, Facebook, you name it. We'd love to have you learn more about our community by going to topproducersnation.com. You can learn more of how to be able to join the community, what access to resources we have for you. If you want help in building out your own funnel, your own ability to create a lead campaign, managing your social media, there's all kinds of services that we have available that could help you become a top producer if you're not already. And if you are, maintain that status as a top producer in your local market. We'll see you on the next episode of the Top Producers Nation podcast, and we'll see you there.